What's up, guys? Jay Lee here. Today I want to do a real in-depth style video. I talk about this topic, which is that how women use men. I talk about that a lot in my videos, but I want to make a real specific video about it, just to touch on some things because while it's fresh in my mind, because last night I listened to this great woman. She's very similar to Karen Strawn. I know a lot of guys in the manosphere, or the red pill manosphere, Honey Badger, MGTOW guys, we know about Karen Strawn. She's on our side. Now, many women, many women pretend. There's a lot of chameleons out there who are just looking for attention. They pretend to be on the side of men, and maybe to some degree in their hearts they are. But you can kind of tell that a lot of it they're looking for attention. A lot of it, even though they might agree with some of what they're talking about, they've also got ulterior motives. Now, very rarely do I meet a woman who's not only intelligent, not only empathetic and understands what men go through and really, really gets it, but she doesn't really have any other ulterior motives. This woman here, her name is Diana Davison. You can find her on YouTube. Now, she breaks down Esther Villar's works. Esther Villar, another woman, right? So we got three women. We've got this woman, Diana Davison. We've got Karen Strawn, who does great work. And then we have Esther Villar, who did work in the 70s, who wrote a book called The Manipulated Man, right? And she talks about, Esther Villar talks about female deception, how women use men to get what they want from men. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. But again, this woman here, Diana Davison, she's really good. And she admits that, hey, you know what? I'm a woman. I am prone to these things. I am prone to manipulate men. She admits that in this video. So I would recommend you guys watch this video on YouTube. It's called The Psycho/Ology of Women, and how women, really it's about how women utilize men and, to get what they want. And this is what I'm going to talk about here. So what I experienced, and what I've experienced with women is that when you look at it from a macro perspective, I'm talking about things from a macro perspective lately, particularly, the spiritual aspect, right? And then I've also been delving into sort of the biological aspect, like what motivations do women get for manipulating men? What motivations do women get for using sex to get things that they want, for bartering with sex, using sex as a tool, right? What's the motivation there? And it's pretty evident, really. It really is pretty obvious. What do they get? Well, they get attention, they get validation, they get free drinks at the bar, they get free dinner. Men do everything for them. It's a very cushy life. It's a very cushy grift. It's a grift. Like men are trying to impress them to get pussy, right? Now, when and to find quote unquote love, blue pill love, and all that. But what I break down in all my videos is I expose the fact that this blue pill love is not really real, right? Because women are really essentially just using men, luring men, bartering with the pussy and the vagina to get what they want. And what do they want? They want a nice life. They want a nice lifestyle. They want to live a cushy, enjoyable life. And this is why men work so hard, because they know that this is what women want. Now, I've argued from a contrary perspective to the red pill, and even contrary to my own beliefs. I've argued and said, well, maybe that has pushed forward to a good degree our society, because if women just loved us for who we are, then we might not get a lot of work done. We might not do a lot. Men are ambitious. Men are in competition with each other. Men are in competition with themselves. Men are vying for success so that they can get women, and so that they can also live a better life, that's true, but I believe probably in a Freudian aspect, as far as the sex drive is concerned, men are very ambitious to improve and to be successful so that they can whether consciously or subconsciously, so that they can get higher quality women. With that said, we start to, when you start to understand that, you start to understand the actual female psychology. Well, what is the female psychology? Again, it's to gain the highest value male. And how do they do that? If they gave away sex so easily, then they wouldn't be able to gain a high quality male. And the irony is they do give away sex easily. They just don't give away sex to any old man. They don't give it to any Tom, Dick, and Harry. They give it to a high value man, and whatever they feel is a high value man at the time is what they have sex with. And usually it's the guy who other women want, and they have a sense about this. Have you ever been in a relationship and you were getting sex and for some reason women noticed you more? It was like when you were single and you were on the market, women didn't care. Like, yeah, okay, you're single, but then all of a sudden you got a woman and they could just tell you had a woman, and then all of a sudden they wanted you more. Have you ever had that experience? It's because this is what women view as high value, a man who other women want. When other women want him, and when he is validated by getting sex from a woman, all of a sudden he's actually higher value. Women will cheat with a man who's in a relationship a lot more readily than they would cheat with a regular single guy, or have sex with a regular single guy. And it's because of this is how their psychology is wired. They are wired to want men and chase men who are high value. And a man who is with a woman already, a man who is being validated through sex, is high value, is higher value than a guy who can't get laid, an incel or a guy. It doesn't matter if you're the same looking guy, you dress the same, if you are in the same shape. They don't want a guy who other women don't want. If other women don't want you, they don't want you. And again, I don't care how much money you got, how much, if you have a loser vibe about you and other women don't want you, they don't want anything to do with you. So this is the female psychology, right? But I really want to talk about how women use men, and they do this through scarcity. They do this through bartering with sex, using sex as a tool to pump up their own value. Right now, she gets in. Diana Davidson here. I really want you guys to watch this video, because she gets into the psychology of women, and she gets into how women move and act, and she talks about how the reason why they group together is because there's a high value woman, and that high value woman guys will clamor after. Right, and we see this every day. We see this all the time on social media. When there's when there's a pretty woman or a beautiful woman, all she has to do is show up. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to have a good character, and they don't develop good character. She doesn't have to have morals. She doesn't have to be a good person, and they don't have morals, and they're not good people. These beautiful women, right? But they don't have to be, right? This is the point, is that men don't require that from them. And a lot of what I've preached over the years of making these videos is men need to require that from them. Men need to have higher standards. We can't just say, oh, she's beautiful, she's got a nice ass, that's good enough. And so many men do that, unfortunately. And here's an example of a man who does that right here. Look at this. So this woman here, ex-porn star Jasmine Cashmere, all right, not Cashmere, but Cashmere, okay, great, is now married. She has starred in over 100 movies and 25 group films. Now that's only on camera. Who knows how many men she slept with off camera, because you should know by now, porn stars are essentially escorts. They're turning tricks on the side. They're not just always behind the camera. And these women, and it's probably more than 100 movies, because they make sometimes up to 30 movies a month. right? Like almost every day they're having, you know, some of these porn stars. If you really understand how the porn industry works, it's a very highly active community, right? They're churning out lots and lots of videos every month. I mean, it's going on. You know, we don't even know, and it's, you know, right now they're filming 200 videos in Hollywood or throughout the world right now. 200, 500 videos are being filmed right now as I'm speaking this, right? So that is probably not even a true number. It's probably more like 300 videos, maybe more, right? It's an insane, copious amount of films being produced by the porn industry every day, every year, every month, every week, right? And again, that's just behind the camera, right? She probably has turned tricks. Like, it's, these women are highly active whores, right? And that's what it is. She's a whore, right? A whore is somebody who takes money for sexual favors. So that's just on camera that they're claiming in this meme. 100 movies, 25 group films. She claims to have accepted the Lord and has become a new person, and now she's married. So this is like a brief meme. There's more to the story. Like he married her because she turned over a new leaf and blah blah blah. Could you marry an adult film star? So the reason why I bring this up is because there's a lot of guys out there like this guy or whoever this guy is here. It doesn't show a great picture of him, but this is her husband now. There's a lot of guys out there like this. There's a lot of guys out there. And the reason why there's guys out there like this is because of one word and one thing: scarcity. Scarcity. That's it. The reason why there's guys out there like that is because of scarcity. And women know this better than anyone else. They know that there's simps waiting. They know that the nice guy will look the other way and forget about her past. They know that, right? They know they can fall back on the nice guy. They know he's out there. And the reason why? Because a million guys will hit her up in her inbox on a dating site. I challenge you guys, be a catfish for a week. Go on a dating site, pose as a female, and see how many women will inbox you. Even better, go on a porn site and put out a porn video. Like, just, rip a porn video, steal a porn video from somewhere else, because they're all stolen, right? Go on Pornhub, rip a porn video, like an amateur porn video, put your amateur porn video up on a different channel, a Pornhub or something like that, and pose as that woman, and see how many men will hit you up. Hundreds, right? These men are thirsty. These men are simps. These men are in scarcity mode, plain and simple. They're in scarcity mode. They will bend over backwards for any woman to throw them a bone, for any woman to, look their way and give them a chance. There are men out there who are that desperate. There are men out there who are that thirsty, right? Simps, blue pill guys, and men who have no self-esteem. They will raise her kid. They will accept her STDs. They will look the other way if she cheats. I've experienced this. I've known guys like this, So, but again, the reason why is because of scarcity. The reason why is because women use sex as a bartering tool. They don't give out sex easily, and this is why. Because they know it's currency. Sex is currency, and this is something that I've always talked about. I've always talked about it in my videos, right? So as I say here, there's always a guy out there who doesn't care about her past because he's desperate for pussy. He's desperate for love. He's desperate for intimacy. And that's sad, because we shouldn't have to take these used good whores in, He'll treat a used up hoe like a queen to keep her around. And that's sad, because he's compromising his masculinity. He's compromising his position in society, and women are forcing us to do it. Because that's all we have to choose from. Single moms, messed up, toxic women, right? Being alone sucks. Having standards sucks. How many women out of 100,000 are good? I think even the Proverbs in the Bible, it says not many, like not even one. So what do we have to choose from? All we have is used up skanks to choose from. And not only that, they want us for our money. Right? And as I say here, the female psychology and motivation is very different than men's. They use men to get what they want. And this is why I posted this video here with Diana Davidson. Go watch this. This is great. She's talking about how women achieve the lifestyle that they want, and it's vicariously through men. Right? And she's playing off of Esther Villar, whereas Esther Villar is talking about, you know, the manipulated man, right? He's manipulated because women know that they don't have to work. This is what she talks about in this video. She says women know that they don't have to work. They can live vicariously through a man, and a man's duty in life, he has to work. A man knows he has to work. Women don't, and they use their sex in order to, you know, not live that life. Now, ironically, feminism talks about, you know, women can work. Actually, that's a good thing in a way if it frees us from that responsibility. But it really kind of doesn't, because women still really kind of require men to work, even if they themselves are working. Women don't, you know, it's not the same. Women don't want to sit around and pay for a man. They don't want to, they'll call him a loser, they'll call him a bum, because this is what society expects of men. They expect men to work, they expect men to be successful. What does society expect of women? Not much. She's got to be pretty and not be a bitch. Like, and even then, she doesn't even have to be pretty. It's just like, and even then, she can be a bitch. Like, society really doesn't expect anything from women. It doesn't expect anything from women, man. They just got to breathe, right? I mean, imagine that's your only requirement. Just exist. And that's all that matters. And you're accepted and you're loved and you're supported. And people bend over backwards to help you and protect you and provide for you just for existing. And yet you have the nerve to say that men are privileged. You have the nerve to say that you're oppressed. You have the nerve and the gall and the audacity to say that men are the ones who are benefiting, even though we're dying at war, we're dying at work, we're dying of heart attacks to provide for a family. We're working a third of our day, stress, carrying a load on our back. We got to pay rent, all that, you know, fear, anxiety, and we got to take it all and still act like a man. I mean, no wonder men are committing suicide. No wonder men are having high blood pressure and heart attacks. No wonder men are, you know, walking away from that whole scenario, right? And then they get mad at us and they say, "Oh, MGTOW guy." And actually, she talks about that in this video. She's quoting a you know, feminist blogger who is attacking MGTOW men, right? And then they wonder why we walk away when this is all on our shoulders, and when women don't have to do anything, and yet women are still complaining about men, right? Boy, it's a messed up thing, man. It's a messed up scenario. It really is. It's a really messed up scenario. Anyway, guys, I want to talk about that. That's the way women use men, through sex, through scarcity, and they know that we will, you know, bend over backwards for them. They know that we'll simp for them. They know that we want to love them so much that we'll provide for them, give them our money. Why? So they can have a baby through us. And she does a great job of explaining how women will use a baby, how women will manipulate men through these scenarios. And I believe it's also from Esther Villar's book. And Esther, you guys got to check out Esther Villar. I'm telling you, The Manipulated Man. I'd also recommend checking out a book called The Predatory Female by a reverend guy. I forget his name, but it's called The Predatory Female. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Appreciate you listening. It's been another Northwest podcast. It's been Jay Lee. Peace.